Hi friends!
Hey guys!
Welcome to Shine. We're so glad you're here with us today. We have an amazing episode today. We're going to be literally going to strip clubs with an organization called Jesus Said Love. Their whole ministry is to love women involved in the sex industry, and we're so thrilled to partner alongside them tonight with Shine.
Yes, they gave us these awesome shirts, Jesus Loves Strippers, and we are just pumped to get out there and to pray for women and just excited to let you guys see it. So here we go.
So I'm here with my friend Jessica, who is one of the team leaders on the ministry outreach team tonight, Jesus Said Love. And Jessica, I've known a bit of your story, but I think it's actually one of the most powerful stories I've ever heard. So I'm just excited for you to be here. Thank you for sharing with us. And I'm just wondering, Jessica, you have such a heart for strippers and prostitutes and women that are really just caught in that darkness. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that has been a part of your life? Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Absolutely. I was once that woman. Mm-hmm. And so at the age of 18, I stepped foot in my first strip club here in Houston, Texas. And that was basically, before that, there was a ton of a lot of dysfunction in my family, alcoholism. There was no spiritual leadership in my family at all. So I was very lost and very uncertain of my future or what that held. And so meeting a man, getting involved, living together, and then being led by one of a mutual friend into my first club in here in Houston when I was 18 years old, I encountered the darkness that would bound me for 7 years. And I would do things that I never thought I would do, never dreamt that I would do throughout that time period. So it was very, very dark, very consuming. There was absolutely no hope in sight. It was a vicious cycle day after day, just trying to survive. And then in 2001, I had my daughter, and I thought that would change things. I thought the love for my child would actually invoke responsibility in my life and a change in my life, but it actually made me more destructive because I had more shame of doing what I was doing as a mother. And so it brought me into a deeper level of darkness, and being in a deeper level of darkness needs to be covered up with a deeper level of cocaine, of alcohol, of, basically not loving my body and shaming my body, because it almost felt comforting. The more darkness I was in, the heavier I felt like the guilt weighing on me. And so I deserved that, is what I felt. I deserved that. And I just had to balance that in my life. I had to be a mom and, a normal person during the day. And then at night, it was this whole nother person. And it was just two different lives I was living for so long. October 19th of 2007. It was a Thursday. It was a night, or a day after a night filled with drugs, tons of drugs, all the way until about 4 a.m., passed out in the bar that I was working at. Woke up, tried to gather my things together, head home, and I physically felt my body shutting down, and I physically couldn't eat anything, and I couldn't drink anything. And there was a place in my heart where there was like, okay, there's something wrong. My body is shutting down, and I need help. And I didn't know where to get that help, so I immediately thought, well, the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room because I remember pacing back and forth in my apartment in front of my child, asking a God that I didn't know existed, please do not let me die in front of my child, because I felt as if I would pass out every time I sat down next to her. And so when I got to the emergency room, I remember them doing the blood work and then putting me on an IV to get hydrated. And then I remember the doctor coming in and saying, Miss Gray, we have your test results.
We hated to have to break this episode into two, but some stories just need to be told right, and this is one of them. The next episode, we're really going to finish up Jessica's story. God is always working redemption, beauty from ashes, light from dark, and this is that story, friends. This is that. I know this is an episode of Shine that isn't typical for us, but we know that this is encouragement, that this is a story we're telling. So join us next time when we finish Jessica's story, part 2, and more from the organization Jesus Said Love.